Good morning everybody. Dylan K. Johnson here and welcome back to a new video. Today we're going to be talking about the belt squat cover from AbMat. Now with all of my videos there will be a written review linked down below in the description. If you guys want to check that out, it heads over to my website. Definitely appreciate that. Appreciate any support I get there. And I will also be linking this as well as anything else that I talk about in this video down below in the description. So if you guys want to check any of these items or products out, you can follow those links. They are affiliate links, so if you do decide to purchase anything through them, I get a little bit of a kickback. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it's a great way to help support me, help support the channel, and it's just kind of how I'm able to bring you guys these videos. So like I said, I would really appreciate it if you decide to purchase this guy or anything else I talk about in this video if you use those links below. But moving on from the sales pitch, let's talk about this product, this belt squat cover. Now, AbMat currently has this listed on their website for $65. Fairly decent price, a little bit pricey for kind of what it is you might think, but in my opinion, I definitely think it is worth it. Let's talk a little bit more about kind of the features of it, the material, all that kind of stuff. So this is actually made out of a nice thick neoprene material, which is the same material that you'll see in wetsuits. If you guys want to kind of have a comparison, if you don't know what neoprene is, think of a wetsuit. That's basically what this material is. It's nice and thick, it's really soft. You're not really going to worry about it for sweat, anything like that. It's moisture wicking or water resistant essentially. And yeah, you're not going to have to worry about it too much. It's really nice and comfortable. Now, it can get a little bit hot in the summer, so that's just kind of one thing to keep in mind, but it's a belt squat cover. I mean, you're not gonna be wearing this thing around the gym. And then sewn into that material is a really nice zipper. So the zipper goes across the entire length of the belt squat cover, and it's basically so that you're able to insert whatever belt squat belt you're using a lot easier, as opposed to having to basically feed it through this entire tube-like structure of the cover. So you basically unzip this all the way, then you're able to slide the belt into either end, you kind of pull it tight, and then you zip it back closed. Nice and easy, super simple, Bob's your uncle. Now, another thing about it is on the back side of it, so if I flip it over, you might not be able to see it very well in the camera, but on the back side, where the belt makes contact with your hips, your lower back, anything like that, basically where it's making contact with you, there is a ½ inch layer of padding sewn in to the neoprene. And this is what kind of helps aid in that nice kind of comfortable feel, and kind of one of the best things about using this belt squat cover. One of the reasons that I really like it is because it has that padding built into it. It makes belt squats in general feel a lot better, feel a lot more comfortable. There's not as much pinching. It just is a nice experience, or a much better experience belt squatting with the cover on any of the belts that I've used. Now moving on from there, let's talk about the length of this. So this is something that they actually don't list on the website, at least I couldn't find it anywhere, and it is a potential issue that I'll kind of talk about as we move forward. But basically, from tip to tip, end to end, this guy measures about 36.5, 37 inches, kind of depending on how much you stretch it. Basically just under 37 inches from end to end. Now, as you can see, I have it on the Rogue Fitness belt squat belt that I'm using here, and it fits pretty much perfectly. I mean, I have a little bit sticking out on one end just of the belt itself. The other side is completely covered, but for the most part, it fits pretty much perfectly end to end with the Rogue Fitness belt squat belt that is included with the Rhino. However, prior to having this belt, my primary belt squat belt that I was using is a size large Spud Inc. belt squat belt. And the issue that I had, and this is kind of the biggest issue that I have with this in general, is that the Spud Inc. belt squat belt is longer than the length of the cover, which means that there's gonna be a couple inches sticking out of either end, as you see on screen right now, that will end up kind of getting in your way and still kind of causing irritation when belt squatting. So if you guys have or have used the Spud Inc. belt squat before, you know that the very ends of the belt squat belt can be a little bit rough. They're really stiff. They basically go through and they cauterize the ends in order to cut the material, prevent it from fraying. And those cauterized ends are extremely, extremely painful if they end up scratching you, because they're super stiff. They can be a little bit sharp until their belt is like really, really broken in. And even after having used that consistently for like 3 years, it's still not fully broken in. So they can still be pretty sharp. And one of the big reasons that I got the belt squat cover was to hopefully cover those ends of that belt. And it was a really kind of big disappointment for me personally when it couldn't. So that was one of the big things that I don't like about this cover, is that I feel it is too short. Personally, one thing that I would really recommend AbMat do is introduce maybe like 3 different lengths. Maybe have this one be like a small, then a medium that's maybe like 39 inches, which is pretty much the same length as the size large Spud Ink belt squat belt, and then maybe like a large that's like 42 inches and an extra large that's like 44 or something. Basically something that is long enough to where you won't have to worry about those ends of the belt squat coming in contact with your skin or anything like that. And yeah, that's kind of one of my biggest and main complaints about the belt squat cover in general, is just that it's too short for, if it's too short for that belt, then I'm sure it's gonna be too short for a lot of other belts. Because again, that's only a size large. They make size extra large, I think double XL, depending on whatever you might need. But yeah, that's kind of my only major complaint about this. Looking at how well it's held up after having used this for probably around 6 months now, it's starting to kind of show a little bit of wear on the back side of it, where it constantly makes contact with my body. Other than that, the stitching is holding up really well. The zipper is holding up fine. It's not showing any signs of like really fraying or anything like that at the edges. And in general, it still is really feeling really good. So overall, I know I've kind of talked down a lot about this just now, but overall, I really still like it. With the Rogue Fitness belt, again, this is not my favorite belt squat belt. I definitely prefer the Spud Ink belt squat belt. It's just more comfortable. It feels better. It's a little bit thicker. It's not as like, I don't know, it doesn't feel as cheap or flimsy as the Rogue belt squat belt, which those of you who've had this, you kind of know what I'm talking about, just feels cheap. It feels like one of those cheap Velcro belts that you can buy for like 10 bucks off Amazon. But yeah, so apart from the fact that it doesn't fit my other belt squat belt, I really like it. It's made belt squatting significantly more comfortable. There were a few things that I kind of did to work around it not fitting on my other belt, but in general, I really like this. It's, like I said, it's been worth it in my opinion. I still use it on a weekly basis pretty much, whether it's for actual like heavy belt squats or if it's doing like accessory movements or whatever it may be. I still use this guy. I still like it. I personally would recommend it. I definitely think that if you have issues with belt squatting in terms of the comfort and the feel of the belt itself around your waist, that it is a solid investment and a solid pickup. As I said, it does have its cons, so keep that in mind. There are a few things that you can do to kind of work around that, and I'll show you some other things that you may have seen on the screen now, like taking a towel and wrapping it around your waist. That is just kind of one really easy thing that really helps kind of protect the insides of your thighs. I do that still from time to time if I'm squatting fairly narrow stanced. I really like it. I think it's worth it. I definitely recommend it, and yeah, it just kind of gets 2 thumbs up for me. If there's anything that I missed or I didn't talk about specifically that you want to know, let me know down below in the comment section or hit me up over on Instagram. But anyway, that's gonna be it for me today, guys. So hopefully you learned something, hopefully you've taken something away. And as always, thank you guys for watching. If you guys made it to this point in the video, if you watched the whole review, first off, 2 thumbs up to you. I definitely appreciate it. But let me know down below in the comments section what you would like to see reviewed next, because I want to hear your guys' opinion and I want to kind of make the videos that you guys want to see. So if there's something specifically in my gym that I have not talked about yet that you want to see more information on, or you want to see a video on, let me know down below in the comments section, or hit me up over on Instagram and I will try and get that in the pipeline and get it out to you guys as quickly as possible. But otherwise, again, thank you guys for watching, and as always, I will see you all in the next one. Bye. Hush.